and grading it to some extent. And before we jump into this, guys, I did want to show you a little fun fact. On the left side of this browser is going to be used as a teacher point of view. And on the right side, this is going to be used as a student point of view. So I have a student. This student is the same student enrolled in two classes. I mean, it's the same class, so they're not going to see both. But I just wanted to show you that what you post on one period, they're going to see it in the second period if you choose to do so. I already showed you how to do that in another video. But a fun fact, I assigned the same assignments to both. But notice how period 1 doesn't have any assignments shown. This one, it tells you you have two assignments due on Tuesday. One due at 9:30, the other one at 5 p.m. Well, why is this one not showing? That's simple. Because on this, in my videos, I already turned this one in. I turned in my journal, and I turned in this question. So because I already turned those in, guys, they won't bother the student anymore. So this is a great reference to tell them what is coming and what is due. So now let's move on to grading and assess, or creating an assessment. So this is period 1, and I'm going to go to classwork. When you go to classwork, I'm going to create, could be known as a quiz assignment. And when you do this quiz assignment, Google Classroom is going to automatically create a Google document, a Google form. It's going to create a Google form. So what's going to happen here is it's going to be known as a blank quiz. Now, there is an option to lock their Chromebooks, which basically means they don't have access to anything but that test, which is nice during in-class time. But usually, because we're distance learning, I mean, there's no point. I mean, students can use their phones or whatever. So, I mean, this is just basically, you want to give them a chance at succeeding without, with this distance learning. I will not focus on that right now. Grade porting, I'm not sure that's feasible right now with a lot of with the way we have so many different grading software, so I would just not touch it. But let's call this, how about we call this quiz number 1. Instructions, answer each question. You don't have to write anything here, but to the best of your ability regarding addition and subtraction. Let's say this is a math quiz. Don't get nervous now. Once again, on this side, you can choose how many classes you want to make a quiz for, how many points you're going to grade this as. I usually leave it at 10 points. It's up to you what do you want to do. And let's make this due Wednesday at 5 p.m. There it is. Topics. Once again, when you create a topic, it makes everything more organized. So I'm going to call this quizzes. I'm going to create that new topic. And once I do, before I finish here, guys, I want to see this blank quiz. Now, this is a blank quiz, and you're going to make your own. Take a tour, see what it says. Add a question. The plus sign is right there. You want to set an answer key. That's even better. I'm going to go into more detail on our next level 2 Google assessments, but it's easy to do as well. You can also grade the responses on your own. This is what we're going to look at today, the responses. So again, blank quiz. Let's call it quiz number 1. And let's start with the first question. 2 plus 2 is equal to question mark. And here's where you type in your multiple choices. There it is. And you can leave it like that. It's a multiple choice. And also you can make it click required. That means that if a student doesn't answer and wants to finish the test, it won't let them. So I always put required on those. What else this has? No, it's pretty good. With that in mind, now let's go to another one. Let's add a different question. This question, let's say we go to a checkbox. A checkbox means there could be more than one right answer. So let's say, what's a good checkbox answer? Tell me which number is even. Which numbers are even? How about that? Are even. Even numbers. And here's where we can provide multiple ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So notice I'm writing way more options for checkboxes. And you as a teacher, you can expect more responses because they can click more than one. So that is checkboxes. Make sure to click required so they don't skip it. Let's add another one. We can talk about also drop down. I mean, drop down is just another fancy way of saying multiple choices. So again, what's 10 minus 4? And your drop down could say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How about that? There it is. And those are the basic ones I want to focus on today. Of course, there is way more, but these are the basic ones. Now, one thing I do want to point out, I don't know if this is very recent or there's another way around it. Sorry about that. But I do want to emphasize that maybe it would be a good idea to ask students for their first and last name. Just because I've had teachers in the past ask me, hey, I don't know whose quiz is this, and I just have a bunch of data. So it's very important that you ask for their first and last name. And I put them separately because in the past I've just asked for their name, and they just give me just one name. And what if you have two Luises in the same class, or you have 5, or you have 2 Jose's? So I want both just to play it safe. And basically that takes care of business on who is who. So once you finish this little quiz, before you want to send it to everybody, you can actually also preview it. When you click on this little eye, it'll take you as if you were just a student, and this is what they're gonna see. You see, you gotta type this in. It's required. What's my answer? Which ones are all even? They can click as many as they want. And 10 minus 4 is what? Which one is it? You see? And it's basically telling you how it's gonna look. Leave the site, or that one. You want to pick the colors of the scheme. Maybe if you're a school like Hopeville, green and gold, whichever color you want to choose, but etc. That's basically what you do. And if you were to refresh this page, I really think nothing's going to erase. Please tell me that's the case. It's right there. Nah, there we go. Everything's good. Everything stayed the same. And because you did a few changes, the quiz is also changed by itself. If we were to close it, if we were to click on it, you see everything stayed the same. So we are ready to go. Oh, topics. Don't forget, you want to create a topic. Let's call it quizzes. And we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and post it. So let's post it. And I'm going to show you from a student point of view how it's going to look. There it is, creating the assessment. And there's the assessment. It actually tells you how many people have turned it in and how many were assigned. So if you have a class of 30, you should see 30 assigned here. So let's give some attention to period 2 class now. So let's say I'm a student in period 2. And if I refresh the page, notice it says due Wednesday at 5 p.m. quiz 1 to both. So they actually can go to the quiz from here, but I have never seen my students do that. They always go to the class and look at quiz 1. And here's a quiz. Oh yeah, their assignments. Don't forget they don't have to do this now because it's here. But look at this. So, in this case, yeah, because I'm not part of the same. I'm not part of the same environment. You know what? Let me join in another class. Sorry about this, guys, but here's the thing about Google Classroom in your school. Because you are in your own district, students need to be part of the same domain. What I mean by that is they got to have the same at husd1.com. Otherwise, the district puts that automatically that students can have access unless they use the school email. So I'm using my old account to do this. And once again, let me give myself the code. It's right there. I'm going to join this new class. It's right there. And when join the class, I'm going to go ahead and start this quiz. There it is. And my quiz is right there. So yeah, just make sure the students are in their own school emails. Otherwise, you are going to run into those issues. So quiz 1, here we go. So again, this is my first name will be Roberto. My last name will be Modano. 2 plus 2 equals, I want to say 2. Even numbers, I would say these are even numbers. And finally, 10 minus 4 is 7. And when I submit, it's going to say the following. Response has been submitted. And when we do this, let's see. If I were to refresh this page, I would see it was assigned to 2 people. But quiz, only one has turned it in. The other student has not. If I go to that quiz again, guys, I'm going to see it from my point of view. If I click edit, you would see the responses. And the responses tells you basically what they turned in. So you can see it as a, right now I'm seeing it as a class, but if I want to look at individual, I would see my first student, Roberto Modano, answered this, this, and this. And then I could go to the next one. Notice how there's a click here for the next one and the next one and the next one. So I can grade these individually if I wanted to, or you can also do what is called, automatic grading. But that's a little more advanced. We'll do that in another video. And that's basically it.